Final guess is from one of the best hip-hop groups to stand the test. Finding success, disregarding the rest, forgetting the haters and the perpetrators. He moved up, he grooved up with a hot jam that soothed up. No dereliction of his claim to fame, you dig? He's the Kangol Kid.
Now, how am I supposed to come on after that introduction, man? That was like, come on, man. You stole the show with that one, man. Come on.
Well, you know, Kangol, I learned from the best, man. I mean you can, Toby knows I rock a black Kangol everywhere I go because of Kangol from U.T.F.O.
How you guys doing, man?
Oh, we're
doing
well.
Great. We doing great. And how you doing, brother? I mean, because you're the man. I see you everywhere, man.
Yeah, man. I've been a little busy in the last few years and just doing different things. But I'm blessed, man, so I'm just sharing the blessings with everyone else. That's all.
Okay, now we got to get into this, okay? Because, see, you know, for all the young folk out there, these newbies, these hip-hop rookies, you know, who don't understand, you know, because we like Eminem, but some folk think Eminem started the hip-hop movement. That's not true, okay?
Not true.
All right, now
but he is incredibly hot, though.
I mean, he's hot. He the man, you know, and we like Puffy, you know, but Puffy did not start
He's Diddy. He changed his name.
Oh,
he changed his name.
It's Diddy. Okay, we get that. We understand that. You know, and everybody in the T.I. and Ludacris, all these folks are wonderful. But, you know, there is a genesis to all of this. And I will tell you, back in the day when you guys came out and all the little kids would throw down some cardboard and start breakdancing because we saw somebody like a Kangol Kid doing his thing, because I think you was a breakdancer. Am I right, sir?
That's correct, yes. I was a dancer. I danced for Full Force, and then my partner Doc and I started to dance for Houdini, and making us the first dancers for a rap group.
Okay, because Hammer came along and started having a whole bunch of dancers behind him, but, you know, everybody has an origin story. Everybody got their style from somebody else. And there aren't too many people from the hip-hop genre can say they originated anything. But when I talk to folk in the industry, I say, who influenced you? They all seem to have the same general consensus, and it is this dude who was rocking some red leather outfits. Come on now. Come on. And had the hat kicked to the side with his smooth shades, somebody who made a Jerry curl look good. I'm trying to. Come on now.
You're killing me. You're killing me.
But they all say Kangol was the man. Every man wanted to be you. Every girl wanted to have you. Every dude in high school was compared to you.
No matter what Roxanne
I owe you for
said.
this? I feel like this bill is going real high. How much do I owe you for this plug, yo? You're killing me. I don't think I can afford what you're proposing, what you're pitching here. Like, you're killing me.
Kangol. See, this is how we do it on. But this is how we do it on Nyghtstorms, All Action New Talk. We are about transparency and being honest with folk. You know, we have real conversations with real people who make real changes for real lives. And I'm going to tell you, you, sir, you are one of my heroes. And I'm not easily impressed with people. But you, sir, when I tell you about the way, because I saw you, it was a concert you guys came to Atlanta one time. I think it was called Jamatron. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, we were headlining the Jamatron tour. That's correct.
Yeah, it was Jamatron, and I had begged my mama to buy me a Kangol hat, and she said, why do you need a Kangol hat? I said, because I want to be like the guy Kangol Kid, and she was like, well, who is the Kangol Kid? I said, well, Mama, I'm glad you asked that question. And then I put on, don't, Roxanne. Let's just say I got the Kangol hat and I went to the concert, my brother. You was jamming, man. Even my mama was shaking her butt.
Wow. Thank you.
And my mama hated rap music.
Wow. Yeah, I'm speechless right now, man. Thank you. I'm blessed, man. That's all I got to say. I'm blessed.
Okay, because all right, now I done told the truth because yes, I am a fan. I'm a Kangol Kid fanboy. I don't put it out there. I don't care what y'all say, man.
I'm not mad at you. Thank you.
It's all good. I'm 6'1", 285 pounds, man. I can deal with y'all, man. I'm Kangol fanboy. To hell with y'all. But I'm gonna say this. Because I'm gonna say this, man, because when you talk about an icon, most time they say never meet your heroes because your heroes can sometimes be a letdown. They might be racist, they might be sexist, they might be a whole bunch of other stuff that's just not cool because you meet the real person. The person that you see on TV isn't always who the real person is. But
right.
I have followed you, sir, for all of these years, and I've seen you doing so many positive things in the community. And a lot of this stuff, a lot of people don't know, and you don't make a big spectacle of it. You do a whole lot of great work in secret. And I want to tell you, you, sir, are a hero of mine that I have nothing but the utmost respect, not just because you were a hip-hop icon, well, you're still a hip-hop icon, but because of the man that you are. Not the celebrity,
wow.
Not the entertainer, not the person who made the chicks throw their drawers on stage. I'm talking about...
Oh, wow, he went there with it. Yeah, this is Radio Gone Real, everyone. Radio has just gone real.
I went there, but it's just the man that you are. And we've had some incredible people on tonight, and it just couldn't get no better than to top it off with one of my all-time greatest people that I have looked up to the man who made a marquee of a hat company that was doing okay. But because he put the hat on, all of a sudden it became an international sensation. That takes a very powerful individual who is strong, who has such an aura that he can literally change the hearts and minds of millions of people by simply putting on a hat. Come on.
Wow. Like, I want to give you with that information right now. Thank you.
You're going to sleep so good tonight after leaving this show, I tell you, man.
Wow. I got to get my head in the room first. Like, oh, my God, he's rolling it all up.
Oh, wow. But, he's not just, but your accomplishment, it goes further than just being a member of U.T.F.O. I mean, you're a producer, you manage, you've written songs for people like Lisa and Cult Jam. You been on Scottie Pippen's Slam City, all this stuff that you're doing behind the scenes. It's like, what? He did what with who? I thought, it was just Kangol for U.T.F.O. What's all this stuff?
I've gone through the whole spectrum of this entertainment industry, voiceovers, jingles, management, PR, you name it, I've done it. And, I enjoy this business. I really do. And so, any little area that I can find myself in and excel in, I love challenging myself. And
you even writing columns. You write a column.
Yeah.
Yo Kangol?
Yo Kangol, it started off with Black Beat magazine a few years ago, and then I did it for allhiphop.com. And so, yes, I've been a columnist as well, and a little bit of everything.
When do you sleep? I'm waiting to hear when you sleep.
I get that question a lot. I find time somewhere because,
cat naps, obviously.
Yeah, they really are cat naps. But, the old saying is, I'll sleep when I die. And so I'm taking advantage of being alive and getting as much out of it as possible. But,
he sounds like you.
I sound like who? I'm sorry.
No, I was telling YG, he sounds like you. It's like
I told you, he's my hero, man. I told you. This dude, I want to be like this dude when I grow up, man. I told you that. If he ain't sleeping, I ain't sleeping. If he got insomnia, I got insomnia. You know what I'm saying? If he taking no dose, I'm taking no dose. That's all I got to say.
Oh my goodness, he's gonna have to come pick you up.
What's crazy is that I make this thing look easy. It's not, man. It really is a lot of work to do this. And, you know, when you enjoy what you do, it doesn't feel like work. You know, so that's the secret to me doing this. But it's not easy, man. I swear, I make it look easy, and everyone's like, "Oh, all right, you know, Kang did it. I could do it too." Like, yeah, good luck with that. You know?
Well, you know, that's crazy when people look at you like that, because, you know, like I say, you know, I am a Kangol fanboy, and I am 6'1", 285 pounds. And when I go into the gym and I be benching 450 pounds, I'm like, "Yo, come on, man, y'all can do this." They're like, "Dude, are you crazy?" You know, and sometimes, you know, men like yourself, Kangol, who have, you know, excelled in so many different areas of life and who have inspired so many people, when we wake up in the morning and we see ourselves in you, okay, yeah, we see the hard work that you do, and then when we try to do it, that's when the reality hit. And I was talking a little bit before you came on about the reality of perception. The reality comes in where Kangol, like a Michael Jordan, okay, makes stuff look easy. Okay, but actually when you step into it and you try to walk in this man's shoes, or in case you try to wear this man's hat, you realize how heavy that hat is, that everybody can't rock Kangol like Kangol, because the things that the things that you have to do to get yourself to this point may be something that a lot of people just can't mentally and emotionally prepare themselves to do. Then they say, "Damn, that's hard. How the hell
you know what?
That?
And that's when the respect comes. It takes for a few of these cats to actually attempt to do what it is that I've done, to appreciate and respect me for what it is that I've done. But prior to that respect, there's a lot of naysayers. There's a lot of nose up in the air, and, you know, oh, whatever, I'm not impressed. And, you know, a lot of that takes place before that respect hits. And meanwhile, what I'm doing is I'm running through the garden without smelling any roses. You know, because I'm not here for the purpose of smelling the roses. I'm here to make sure this garden is correct.
Right.
You know, and so it isn't until years later, after I've run through the garden and do what it is that I have to do, that I look back and go, "Wow, I did that," and that's when I find myself amazed.
Well, you know, I'm glad. Hold on, I'm glad he said about the garden and running through the garden without smelling the roses. Most of y'all have to understand that the people who tend in the garden are the ones who get the most dirty.
Oh, absolutely,
And
absolutely.
Good. But I tell you what, when I went online, and of course we have to do our due diligence and research who's coming on, everyone in the hip-hop community was singing your praises. I mean, everybody, Redman, Method Man, Dana Dane, all these people. I'm like, wow. So while you're running through, people are watching.
Yeah, no, I've come to realize that they are watching. And, I try to keep my nose clean, through the business. And, like when I was 17 years old and doing radio interviews for the first time, one of the questions that I would be asked, by reporters is, how does it feel to be a role model? And my response at 17 years old would be, I'm not a role model. I'm a rapper. And it didn't take, it took for me to become an adult, my late 20s, early 30s, to realize that I was a role model at 17. But you don't see that at the time. And so once I've, properly wore the hat and realized, okay, I am a role model, then I realized I had a job to do because I had children at, early age as well. And that kicks in when you start realizing that, they mimic you. And so it's your job to make sure that you do the right thing because they're going to follow everything you do. You're responsible for them. And it kicks in that you were pretty much a parental figure to your fans because there are people looking at you the same way that will mimic you. And all that kicked in. So maturity played a major role in me, in sustaining this character that I've become, this individual that I am. Mm-hmm. It's a response, what do they say in Spider-Man, with great powers comes, great responsibilities. And it is so true. It is so, so true. And so I have a responsibility, and so I'm doing my part. That's all.
Well, that you go out
I'm glad.
That.
Let me just say this real quick. I'm glad because he brought up an important point, that a lot of rappers don't talk about. He said, I'm a father.
That's true.
I'm a father. Yes, I am a role model because I'm somebody's dad. And 9 times out of 10, as men growing up, and, unfortunately, like my father, he was gone, so I didn't have anybody to teach me how to be a father. So I was looking for someone who was wearing the hat, okay? And
right.
I found my solace in listening to U.T.F.O. Because I saw a cat that was a little bit older than me who had it together. He was doing his thing. And then to come forward all these years later and hear that I'm this way, not because of rocking it in the entertainment industry. I'm this way because I have to be held accountable to my children. And see, that's a lot of things, that's a lot of aspects that people don't talk about with successful entertainers like yourself, sir. So, and as a father, and Toby and I have 6 surviving children. We have 3 sons and 3 daughters.
Wow.
Yeah, but see, somebody has to be accountable in our household, and that person is me. I have to be the one to wear the hat. That's why I got a black Kangol.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Well, and also what I was about to say a little early was that not only is he being a role model for his own children, but he lectures at high schools, he lectures at colleges nationwide, telling people about the business and the music and everything. And so it's like, which is another thing that I have right here at the home, is that everybody calls YG Pops. So I'm sure you got a lot of people calling you Dad or something along that line.
Yeah, I get the Pops thing as well. All my son's friends, refer to me as Pops. And but as you were just saying about speaking at schools, I had an event take place a few weeks ago, which totally excited me because I don't normally get excited about certain things. I just, it's a job, and so I just do what it is that I have to do. But I was asked to speak at the graduation ceremony of my old high school, and that was incredibly exciting. Because that's where I was discovered. Full Force discovered me on that stage in that high school, and here I am now, 30 years later, on that stage speaking to the kids, the future leaders, and my speech is what's going to set them off into the world. And so, just understanding that role and what was taking place, I was just incredibly excited about that. So, yes, I do speak to our future. And enjoy doing that. One of the reasons is when I was doing what I did, there was no one before me to guide me through this. There wasn't a hip hop icon before me that could have given me directions as to how to do what it is that I'm doing. So we basically when you say pioneers, that is so real. We were the first ones to do this. And so now being an individual that I can guide someone else who's going to do this, where I can tell you where the pitfalls are, where the potholes are, what to look out for, because I say it took cats like us to get robbed in this business for these cats today to get paid. And I'm okay with that. There's no bitterness in that, whatsoever. Somebody had to do it first, and, I'm okay with that because anyone can take turns at being the best at something, but only one person can be the first. And so I wear that title proudly.
Can I tell him about my first experience, Toby George? Can I please tell him that?
Goodness.
I'm listening.
Can I stop you?
Yeah, I got to say this.
Good
I got to say
answer.
this. Okay, because, when you talk about, there are many people that can take turns at being the best, but only one can be the first. Let me tell you how you influenced me. I mean, because you got so deep into my psyche. When I was a senior in high school, I was the very first drum major of my marching band. Okay, and they had never, and our marching band was court style for many, many years. And then on my senior year, I said, look, man, we got to, start doing some grooves, man. We got to start getting into it. So they had to redesign my whole drum major outfit and my hat. I designed it, kind of like what I saw a white Kangol you had put on. This is real talk, man.
Wow.
It was a white Kangol you had, and I said, I want my hat to be, high like the typical drum major's hat, but it got to have swag, like that dude Kangol had, I forgot which video it was, but it had some swag, and I had the pressure of being the very first drum major to change the program around for our high school because our high school needed revenue. And unfortunately, the court style wasn't getting it when all the other high schools in the area were dancing and playing hip-hop music, okay? So in order to make that change, somebody had to wear the hat, okay, and make that movement and be brave enough to step out here and have no one tell him what to do, but has to look at his situation, think for himself, and say, if this is what I want to do, and if I'm going to be the one to innovate this, then I got to do this right, okay? And just thinking of you made me want to be the best drum major there was. And even to this day, I'm a legend at my high school because I was the first. And I will say that I am the best, and I don't care what other alumni say.
He has a following. He has a following.
I have a following at my high school. Kids 20 years later have heard of Drum Major Nyghtstorm, okay? And I say I was like the Kangol kid of marching band back in the day, and you inspired me, sir. I just, somebody had to be the first, and you did an excellent job at creating a genre of music that has made money for people, but also helped to motivate folks, to change cultures, to change people's zip code, as they say. You know what I'm saying? So, and I appreciate you, brother. I mean, you know, because everybody needs to try to wear the hat in their particular genre. You know, you can have that, by the way, if you want to use that.
No, I believe I've used that, so it's all good.
Oh, my goodness. But, you know, another first that I didn't even realize, and talking to you, you wouldn't know it, but, you know, you have a proclamation from the city of New York for being among the first Haitians in hip-hop music. You know, we think Haitians, we think of Wyclef Jean. You know, we never, I wouldn't have known.
Well, I was born in Brooklyn, New York, but my mother and father are from Haiti. And as a kid, I think when I was 4 years old, I was in Haiti for a year. I started preschool in Haiti and came back, you know, for kindergarten at 5 years old. And, you know, I don't know the culture. I must say that, you know, the closest to knowing the culture itself is just being in my, you know, my household. My mother and father spoke it to me, you know, at home. So I knew the language. My grandmother, of course, that's all she spoke, and so I learned the language that way. And I was introduced to a lot of prejudice, you know, and this is before dealing with prejudice as we know it as, you know, the common black and white, you know, prejudice that exists. I experienced the black-on-black prejudice in which, you know, Black America weren't digging Haitian Americans. And so, it was crazy in New York during that time, and cats who've been there during that time know exactly what I'm talking about. And so, you know, I realized, like, in, you know, when you think of the West Indies, the black West Indian countries, there's, you know, Jamaica, Guyana, Barbados, like all of those countries. They all speak English, though they speak it with an accent, a different dialect of sort, but it's still English. They can communicate. Haiti is the only black West Indian country in that area that cannot communicate with the rest of the West Indians. And so that pretty much made Haitians the lowest on the totem pole for various reasons, but that's one of the reasons. And it was absolutely hard growing up as a Haitian kid. So with all the prejudice that took place, I got to a point to where I decided I'm not sharing that with anyone. I don't want anyone to know that I'm that individual. And even Roxanne Shante said to me years ago, she said, if I knew you were Haitian back then, you would have caught it during the battles. Wow. And she is so right. I'm sure she would have gotten a lot of material to work with. Like there is no competitor that lets you know their weaknesses. You know what I mean? And so if that was if that was put on blast, if that was on Front Street, she would have definitely used that against me and won, you know, incredibly. And so Wyclef and I actually had a conversation about that. We always talk about this, but he says if I had let people know that I was Haitian when I came out, he wouldn't have got beat up in the streets of Brooklyn. And I said, I hear you, but I had a whole nother battle that I was fighting at the time because people weren't digging rap artists.
Right.
You know, the music industry, you know, shunned this rap thing, this hip-hop thing. They wouldn't give us our own chart. So while we're charting top 10, we're sharing that slot with Stevie Wonder and OJ's and, you know, the Commodores and Lionel Richie's. Like, we're sharing our rap, you know, music with R&B superstars. I mean, we had an album, what was it? The Lethal album was number 2 on the charts, and Michael Jackson was number 1 with Bad. Like, we need a rap chart, you know, and so things like that started to happen after our success. So it was a lot of battles that we were going through to make them accept us. And I told Clef, I had to make them accept hip-hop before they accepted you as a Haitian hip-hop artist. And so he got that, you know. We're cool, of course, you know, on those levels. But, you know, those are the things that I had to deal with being a Haitian American. And there's so many other stories. But
and then even with Lethal, I mean, that was your most popular album, and you know, integrated rock. You got with the group Anthrax on that, and you would think it would be more. We always thought out of the box. Even our first album, we did an R&B ballad called Fairy Tale Lover. Mm-hmm. One of my favorites. It still plays around the house. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. He already knows.
Yeah, I think we done had some nice memories with Fairy Tale Lover. Ain't that right,
we don't even got to go there.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know.
I'm sure there's been some babies made off of that. Yeah. But again, we thought out of the box even in the beginning. You know, it was all about trying to figure out, you know, how we can stretch this thing called hip hop. And you know, now it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And you know, it took for cats like us to step out of the box to do that. And that's kind of why I'm a little, you know, disappointed in hip hop today, because they're not stretching it any further. Now it's, you know, everyone's doing the same thing. The variety is gone. You know? But
they're sampling the stuff that you guys did. You know, that's why we know everything.
In terms of sound, yes, but I'm saying in terms of you know, lyrics or, you know, songs for that matter, like great songs. They're all, you know, they're all the same. You know, it's all the you know, popping the bottle and how much money and yada yada yada, and that's all good and well. We did that too, but along with that, we had variety. You had your Public Enemy doing, you know, social conscious, you know, music. You had Will Smith, you know, Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff, you know, doing comedy and, you know, feel-good stuff. Fat Boys doing the feel-good stuff. You know, there was a big variety, you know, and that no longer exists. And that's what's sad. I mean, I dig the music. Don't get me wrong. You know, there's some hit songs that exist, but unfortunately, there's no variety in these hit songs. They all sound like the one before it.
And I'm happy he actually brought that up, because this is what we be telling our children. You know, the hip hop in our days had character. Okay, and I'm not gonna knock on the stuff that's out now, because there are a lot of talented artists. You know, they're very, very good at their craft. But it's all vanilla to me. It's no character. There's no flavor. It's all the same thing. Everybody is the same thing. It's like everybody got multiple personality syndrome, and it's the same person. Okay, but back when you guys were doing it, you told stories. You had conversations with the public, with your listeners. We actually felt like we were having a conversation, or we were involved in a conversation, like you guys with Roxanne. Okay, it was a conversation. It wasn't about, you know, dogging her out or whatever. It's about, hey, what's up? How you doing? This, that. Right. It was character, you know. But now, you know, like you said, everybody is the same. But that's what makes guys like you know, great.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of being great, you have initiated a movement that's going on in the hip-hop community that we want to get on and talk about. We're going to take just a little bit of a break, maybe no more than a minute, and we're going to come right back and we're going to discuss that. But I want to say I am enjoying this conversation, and I hope anybody that's listening is definitely enjoying this conversation because I'm just listening to my husband and all his Kangol stories and stuff and all your stories, and I'm just having a ball. But we will be right back on Nyghtstorms All Action New Talk.
Hey everybody, this is YG Nyghtstorm, the man not afraid to be transparent as I help real people with real issues. And we have a show on Blog Talk Radio. And coming at you is my co-host, my stunningly gorgeous wife,
Toby.
And what kind of show we got, Mama?
Well, our show covers all topics from child abuse, domestic violence, conflict resolution, and homelessness. We deal with everyday life. We bring real to the radio.
Really? So we talking about topics that real people are dealing with right now?
Every day.
So what's the name of our show?
It's Nyghtstorms All Action New Talk.
Really? And where can they catch us at?
Thursday nights at 7 o'clock on Blogtalkradio.
So 7 o'clock on Thursdays on Blog Talk Radio. Make sure you catch Nyghtstorms All Action New Talk. You can listen to me or you can listen to my beautiful wife. But she's mine and she's taken. But we'll see you on Thursdays.
Nyghtstorms All Action New Talk. We are you.
At times, life can be difficult for you. I'm YG Nyghtstorm, and I understand your issues because I live them. Whether you're dealing with broken families, child abuse, domestic violence, divorce, homelessness, relationships, sexual assault, suicide, depression, work-related stress, and even the death of a child. I've survived all of those atrocities, but I'm still standing, and so can you. Pick up a copy of my book, All Action, No Talk. I dive deep on how to deal with the ugly side of life through transparency, personal responsibility, and positive conflict resolution. So check it out at Nyghtstorm.com. That's Nyghtstorm.com, and anywhere books are sold. You can do this because, like me, you have the strength to change your life despite adversity.
All right, we are back with none other than Kangol from U.T.F.O. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my man, my personal hero, Kangol from U.T.F.O, doing his thing with us, the Nyghtstorms, on All Action New Talk right here on Blog Talk Radio. And we finna get into some really, really serious stuff that the man himself, the Hat per se, has been doing in the community to help some real people who have been dealing with some really serious stuff. Am I right, Mr. Kangol?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It started 3 years ago. My best friend is Shonda Lumpkin. She's been my business manager, and we've done a lot of work together. And her mom, Gay Frances Lucas was her name. We called her Momma Luke. Momma Luke was like a mom to me, and she had a 3-year battle with breast cancer. And I have a small family. So, those with large families deal with death on a regular, meaning every few months someone in their very extremely large family will pass away because that's how that goes. But me having a very small family, I don't deal with death that way, it just hasn't happened. My grandmother, as we speak right now, is 102 years old, and so again, it's a small family, and we're all here. God willing, God blesses us, of course, and we're still here. So when Momma Luke was going through this, I was there for her. I would go with her to her chemo, therapy sessions, and serenade her as she's going through it, because I didn't know what else to do, so I just wanted to just be there for her. And eventually she passed, and I didn't know how to deal with it. So I decided to reach out to my hip-hop brothers and sisters and say, we need to get this word out, because this disease is not a disease that one has to die from. If you check yourself early enough, it can be corrected, reversed, and, you know, you can see more years after it. And so I needed to get that word out to everyone. And statistically, it's proven that African American women are the most affected by this disease. I don't know if it's, genetic or what it is exactly, but I will say that I know that that information doesn't get to our community. You know, the information, you know, that one needs on this, because everyone, of course, you know, feels like, it'll go away, or it's probably not that serious, and by the time they really decide to do something about it, it's too late. So, hip-hop has always been the news anchors to the streets. Like, for example, I never heard of Compton until NWA said Straight Outta Compton.
Exactly.
So here I am in Brooklyn, New York, and these cats are broadcasting the news from the West Coast to the East Coast, and we've always been, you know, that type of community that shares information that way through hip-hop music. And so I reached out to my hip-hop news anchors and said, we need to get this word out. Let's let everybody know that if you get yourselves checked, you know, you won't have to go through this. And the movement, of course, you know, we named it after Momma Luke, so it's called the Momma Luke Foundation. And Momma Luke is that woman that holds that family down. There's a Momma Luke in every family. That the young lady that if there's any beef going on in the family, everyone goes to her to squash the beef. She's the one in charge of the family reunions. She's the one that when she passes, the whole family falls apart. And so that's exactly what took place in Momma Luke's family. And so we decided to address the Momma Luke in everyone's family. And so I reached out to Dana Dane, Roxanne Shante, Joski Love, L.A. Sunshine from the Treacherous 3, Force MDs, Cool Kim from UMC's. Like, all of us got together in Newark, New Jersey, and walked for the American Cancer Society in honor of Momma Luke. We raised about $3,000 the first year, and we met with Mayor Cory Booker there as well, had photo op with him, and we all wore a T-shirt that said Momma Luke in the front of it. And at the end of the walk, all of us signed this one particular T-shirt. And for the last 3 years, I've been traveling, nationwide with this shirt and collecting signatures from various artists such as LL Cool J, Mark Wahlberg, who else? Will Smith, Chuck D, Flavor Flav, you name it. I've gotten almost everyone's signature on this. There's over 200 signatures on this shirt, and the intention is to auction this shirt off in the future. And the money generated from that will benefit the movement as well as the American Cancer Society. And the reason why we chose the American Cancer Society is because that is the organization that Momma Luke walked for 12 years in honor of her mother-in-law. So she did, none of us knew that years later we'd be walking in her honor, but she walked for 12 years in honor of her mother-in-law. And so we chose that organization. And a little over a year ago, about a year ago, the American Cancer Society honored me for the work that I've been doing with hip-hop and getting the word out this way. And, again, it's just a great feeling to be able to help someone. When someone calls you and say, I heard about what you're doing and I thank you. And I've actually placed a few calls to a few young ladies who are, going for their operations or their therapy. And they've said that my call played a major role in healing them, and just hearing that and getting that good vibe from that is rewarding enough, man. And so I'm continuing to do this in Momma Luke's honor. It's the only way I can fight, keep her memory alive, and use that to aid someone else who's going through it, someone who has a Momma Luke that they've lost, or someone who's trying to save their Momma Luke.
Okay, and I'm so happy that you are doing this important work, and you brought up the American Cancer Society, and I want to just let the listeners know why this is important. According to the American Cancer Society, just for this year of 2013, as far as breast cancer, and we're going to talk about both sexes here, men and women, there have been already In 2013, 234,580 cases. 2,240 are men. 232,340 are females. And Kangol, here is the big numbers from the American Cancer Society as far as the death rates go. 40,030. That's between both sexes. But here is the pivotal point on why I think what you're doing is important. 410 deaths for men. And this is the big number. 39,620 females passed away from breast cancer. This is why what Kangol is why it's so important, why he's partnered with the American Cancer Society, and he's really working tirelessly with the Momma Luke movement and getting hip-hop to get behind this thing and fight this juggernaut that is killing so many of our loved ones. And Toby and I have experienced death, quite a lot in our family. And just 5 years ago, our oldest son passed away at his job, and he was the oldest of 7. So when I tell you that we understand great loss, and we're very real about and transparent about the pain that we went through, and I had to hold her and our 6 surviving children and wonder why I was powerless to save my son and experience that great loss of someone that we honestly really cared about. It tore the family up a lot, and when you said, the Momma Lukes of the family, it'll tear you up. It tore us up, but I had to put that hat on, Kangol. And I had to be that man, that had to be that husband. I had to be that father to bring the family back, regardless of the great amount of loss we suffered. And like you, sir, when we're dealing with your friend Shantae and she lost her mom, this stuff is serious. And a lot of people, 39,620 people have lost their mom just in 2013 alone, and the year is only halfway in. That's why the work you're doing with the Momma Luke movement and with the hip-hop community to bring awareness, you are actively, it's like David and Goliath. You are fighting this huge monster, but this thing can be beaten. All it takes is effort and courage and awareness from enough people to push the Momma Luke movement to help the American Cancer Society to defeat this thing. And, sir, you are a general in this war. And your influence, the way how you have carried yourself, the work that you have done tirelessly behind the scenes, it is coming full front now. And this army of yours is going to get bigger. I pray that you just have all the success, all the support, that everybody jumps on this, because this is the ugly number. 39,620 women have lost their lives already. And that number is probably even more now as we speak. So, sir, outside of the historical iconness of your hip-hop career and how millions of people have looked up to you from the entertainment aspect, I want to tell you I'm more proud, like I said earlier, of the man that you are on taking a stand. And this wasn't even your own mom. You have so much empathy in your heart, and you have so much compassion for the needs of other people that's outside of your circle. But this person was so important, regardless of bloodlines. This person, you're making a stand for her. And I know Momma Luke is looking down, and she is proud of you, sir. I just want to thank you so much for what you're doing. It's so important. Go ahead, Toby.
I was just about to say, I know that Shonda, having you as a friend, it's great that you were able to get this movement going and get this awareness out about breast cancer and stuff, because, we've had our own scare with breast cancer, and it's a scary thought that, you go for a mammogram, because I just, not too long ago, reached my 40th birthday, and it was like, okay, it's time to go and get a breast exam, whoopee, and then they go, something ain't right, and you're like, what? What do you mean? So
yeah, I was tripping, Kangol. I'm like, what's wrong with my baby? How come things ain't good? Because I like to do things. I'm just saying.
Oh my God, here he goes.
If things ain't right,
come back over here.
we transparent, right?
We're talking about the Momma Luke movement. Come back over here.
No, it's important. It's important as a husband. If the
family show,
right,
family show.
Do you know family show?
I'm just saying, if it ain't right, it's something wrong. That's why you got to get checked. Because your husband gonna go crazy if something wrong. So y'all need to get checked, man.
Exactly, and not just women though, men too. Men also.
True. Yes, it does affect men as well.
Wow.
Actually, Doc, my partner, Doc, his grandfather passed away from breast cancer.
Wow. Now see, and it's becoming more prevalent because that's something that was unheard of when we were growing up. Men don't have breasts. What are you talking about? They have pecs, So,
right.
Wow. Well, we really, really, really want to thank you. Number one, for coming on the show, because we know that you are so busy. You don't sleep, and you're running through the garden getting dirty. So
yes, ma'am. That's me.
We really appreciate you taking that time just for 1 second to stop and say, hey, in this, to our show, and for the work that you're doing out there in the community, for the lectures you're doing at the high school. And I know it was just surreal for you to stand in the building that you walked the halls of, ate lunch in, shucked and jived with your friends and, just had a good time to be standing there in front of the graduating class, telling them it's time to go out in the world and be the best you can be. I know that had to be a very surreal moment for you. And all your accomplishments and your songwriting, and I even read that you did the score for a movie that was nominated for an award. I mean, you're just everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
A documentary and a scary movie, and both and received an award for both of them.
Wow. See, that's
like I said, I've been blessed, and it only makes sense that I share this blessing with everyone that I can. So you can't take all this knowledge and everything with you. You have to leave. Every parent wants their child to be better than them. So I've birthed a lot of children in hip hop. Like all these kids that are doing this thing right now in this culture, I played a role in birthing, and so I want them all to be better. And so I'm just using that.
I think you got us beat. You were saying, wow, with 6 kids. Goodness, you think about all the children in hip-hop.
Yeah, no doubt. This is true.
Yeah, he done sired a whole lot of rappers. I tell you, boy, that siren business, man, that's serious stuff. You got to be tired, man.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
man, I have a job to do, man. I'm just doing my job.
Okay, well, Mr. Kangol Kid, I'm going to tell you, man to man, that it has been an honor, a pleasure, and a privilege, sir, to have had the time to speak with you, to learn from you, and to learn some more lessons on how to properly wear the hat. Kudos to you. God bless you, sir. Many, many successes. Get that army together. Y'all need to get behind this brother, and let's slay the giant. Let's pick up that rock, twirl it around, and knock this giant in the head and put him to sleep, man, and so he can leave folk alone.
Well, I'm still looking for recruits, people to assist, and, because in order to get this word out, everyone has to get off of the sidelines and get on the field. So one of the things you guys can do, everyone who's listening, please go visit the Momma Luke Facebook page. It's Momma Luke GFL, MAMALUKE GFL, because her name was Gay Francis Lucas. And click like. You can see the photos of all the artists that have signed the shirt. You'll see all the events that we put together. We've done events in Cleveland, in New York, D.C., and I'd love to come to anyone's town and bring some of my hip hop celebrity friends with me, and let's all fight this together. Find me on Instagram on Yo Kangol is the Instagram address. Twitter, Yo Kangol, YOKANGOL. Cats love to forget the L. It's YOKANGOL. Please hit me. and let's do this together. I can't do it alone.
Well, you have some soldiers right here with the Nyghtstorms. We have 6 children, so you know we coming with a group, man. I tell you, whatever you need, Kangol, we are there for you, sir. And like I said, thank you so much. God bless you, sir, man. Keep on wearing that hat, brother, and showing us the way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. I will.
All righty.
All right. And you have a great evening, Mr. Kangol.
You too, guys. Take care.